So let's start today. I'm introduce myself. I'm Denis. Thank you for coming. And I'm working as a product manager at the Kotlin in JetBrains. And today we'll be talking about how your web colleagues can actually start using Kotlin with their preferred environment and for their use cases. So imagine this, like yesterday, Artem Kobzer, I don't know if you visited, made a great talk on Kotlin JS, past, present, and future, and you went out excited, like, how can I try Kotlin JS? And moreover, how can I convince my web colleagues to try it? Because, well, they're not going to switch IDEs. Yeah, they're using VS Code or some other kinds of IDEs. They will not learn Kotlin overnight, of course, and they will not definitely going to take your word for it. So let's talk about it. Let's show the tools that are already there and how also the AI agents can help you. So we'll start in the place that you're used to in Android Studio. This is a very simple Kotlin multi-platform application that is actually splitting the bill for now equally. And the structure is very familiar to you if you're used to Kotlin multi-platform. So basically the Android application with all the files there, and the shared module where the logic that we'll be sharing with the web application is actually stored. And the main interesting file here is split calculator KT, where we have a very simple logic for now, and the annotation for Kotlin JS. This is one annotation that marks the whole file for the Kotlin compiler. So all the symbols here should be transpiled into JS and TypeScript. It's very convenient. And we can see all other data classes that will be used in this application that are important for the business logic of this bill splitter. We have already implemented split equally function that is turned on in the app. We will see it in a minute. And also the split by percentage function that is not yet turned on, but we will use it for them to demonstrate how the logic is basically shared between the apps. And now move to VS Code. As you can see, the Kotlin code is highlighted, the same project. So Kotlin LSP is already working here. A small disclaimer, the work is still under development. We are shipping the Android support, and we are considering shipping the Kotlin multi-platform import. You can see that the final references is already working. We can find where the function is used, how it's called. We can go there, navigate. Here is split by percentage, split by equal. We can go back, navigate back to the implementation of the function. Also, I have already launched the hot reload to see how the turned off function will be reloaded. So it's false now, of course, and only split equally is working. And now we're turning it on to split by percentage, and it's reloaded. Let's try it out. So let it be 145 euros, for example, and split it by 30, 30, and 40%. Yeah, hopefully it will work. Yeah, thanks God. It worked. We also already launched Android emulator and iOS simulator from the VS Code for the same project. So we have basically the same functionality here. Yeah, small error. Let's fix it, of course. The same numbers? Oh yeah, the same numbers. Because the logic is the same again, and it's not a fake. Now, basically, I have already transpiled the code that we are using here into the symbols that you will be, the interfaces that we'll be using in the web application. So here are they, both functions. And of course, all the data structures that we will need in the web app. This all is done by the compiler. You don't need to take care about the things, of course, which is handy. And now to the web app. So the shared model is used as a dependency in the package.json, very standard approach here. And the logic with the TypeScript code that is importing the symbols that we're sharing from the Kotlin multi-platform app. All the stuff that we have implemented there, and our main demonstration function, the split by percentage, that is implemented in Kotlin. We have the same thing here, so the flag that is turning on or off the feature of the percentage splittage. And we have this in the browser. It's not a hot reload, it's a browser. Let's turn it on, and we see basically the same behavior as we see in the mobile applications, split by percentage. We'll do the same thing just to be sure that the numbers are the same, which actually proves that the business logic is the same. Okay, again, a little bit nervous. The UI is different because we're not sharing UI here, but the business logic is the same, so the calculation logic is the same. Okay, this is all great. I mean, now you can use the IDE, you can use the tools we're providing with the VS Code. But what about the language? Will the web developers actually learn Kotlin? Maybe, but the learning curve is still steep. How we can make it not so steep, and how can they start actually contributing to your code right away? And we see this pattern in many companies that people from one technical stack are starting to contribute to other technical stacks. Of course, with the review from the professionals from this language. So you can use whatever agent you want. I'm using Cold Code. You can use Cursor or what other agents are approved in your company. Let's just see how the agent will explain to the Kotlin, to the JS developer what is there in this particular KT file. I'm using this simple prompt. In a minute, I will tell you that which other prompts are working. But even with this simple prompt, you can see the basically explanation of the whole file, mapping the concepts of Kotlin to the concepts of JavaScript and TypeScript, which is very handy because right away you can build your intuition as a web developer of Kotlin. So the same thing that I was talking about, like the annotation on the top of the file, what it does, how it transpiles everything to the web technology stack. Of course, all the data classes and how they're mapping to the particular structures in the web world, and so far to all other symbols that we're using in this file. And of course, at the bottom, it also tells about the metal model that JavaScript and TypeScript developers can use to start contributing. And again, it's a very, very simple prompt. I personally use it a lot for learning new technologies. And what these LLMs are great in is in building and checking your intuition. So you can actually ask to explain any of the concepts from the Kotlin or how it maps to your particular technology stack and check your intuition. So this is basically the unlock, because the front-end team doesn't have to become like the Kotlin experts. They just have to be willing and review the code and also to read such things. So the main takeaways, basically, that I wanted to convey today and to you to get out of this talk is that using our current technologies that we are providing, such as Kotlin LSP, the hot reload, the Kotlin toolchain that was announced at the keynote, and the power of the modern AI tools, you can start explaining to your adjacent colleagues or neighbor colleagues, what they can use and what is the power of the Kotlin, how they can use the technology within their business areas, how they can deliver the features together with you. So this is basically the idea that I wanted to share. Thank you very much, and don't forget to vote. And now I'm ready to take your questions, if there are any. Small disclaimer, I'm not a part of the Kotlin JS team, so I will not be able to answer all the very deep technical questions, but I definitely can answer the questions about like, where are we going, what tooling do we want to provide, and what is our overall vision on how the development of applications, basically user-facing applications, will be in the future, and what is the role of AI here. Yeah, thank you.